game of the year in week three? Maybe. Welcome to the third Saturday in October podcast, your SEC water cooler podcast for the rest of us. Find us online, third Saturday in October.com, on social media and Venmo at TSIO pod if you want to support the show. Also on buymeacoffee.com/TSIO pod. And if you enjoy the show, send it on to a friend. That helps us as well. I am Bradley, in as good a spirits as I can be after a loss, along with Jared, who may not be in the best of spirits after a win, but I'll let you tell me that.
Well, I'm always in good spirits after a win, so let that be clear. But that said, Bradley, we had some incredible football games this weekend. Are you are
Oh my
you
goodness.
are you in agreement? I mean,
Yes.
that is what we wanted, and boy, did it not deliver.
Oh, so
So
let's look at these awesome games.
absolutely,
A&M outlasts Notre Dame 41-40. Um,
yeah. I mean, any team that goes into Notre Dame, playing them there, uh, their field, it's a challenging thing. For A&M to go in there and to get a win, that's a big deal, man.
yeah.
So I'm just super proud of Mike Elko and them. I'm not looking forward to playing the Aggies. That's coming in 2 weeks for my Auburn Tigers, but
No.
I love the way that A&M started out really questionable. Obviously, had that punt blocked. Notre Dame ran it back, and it was like, oh, A&M's going to get crushed. And then 1 point they win by 1 point, 41-40. Fantastic for the Aggies. Good for them. Irish starting out the season 0-2. That's bad, even even for those years of Notre Dame not being that special. That this is not Notre Dame standard. So it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see how they handle that.
And you and I were texting. Notre Dame may be having to look hard at, do we need to join a conference?
Well, with two
Uh,
losses, there's no possible path that I'm aware of that would get them in the playoff as of right now.
right. A,
And
and
it would be just unbelievable chaos and them completely winning out.
yeah,
And even that would be questionable.
right.
Um,
If
yeah,
you are, for instance, if you're Clemson right now, having just lost to Georgia Tech, um,
they might be out too.
they might be out. If they ran the table and they get into the ACC championship game, there is still that opportunity to get in because you win your conference championship, you're automatically in the playoffs.
Right.
Notre Dame doesn't have that option. So if they do run the table 10-2, are are they a good enough 10-2 team to get into the playoffs? I don't know.
Yeah, my instincts as of right now is like I don't think that's right or fair to teams that are in the Big Ten or SEC or even the Big 12 or ACC for that matter.
Yeah.
So
Um, so I don't know. But hey, props to A&M going on the road, getting a great win there.
yeah, A&M's a good team, and to get a win on Notre Dame because Notre Dame barely lost to Miami too. So I
Right.
don't think Notre Dame's a terrible team. I think they just had two opening games against really tough teams.
Yeah.
You could say maybe A&M's a top 10 team yet. I mean, as of right now, they're not, but later in the season, they might be. So,
Yeah.
Notre
Um,
Dame could have had two right out of the gate with Miami and A&M, and they lost them both.
yeah.
So,
Um, Another shootout, Arkansas at Ole Miss.
oh my
This
gosh, dude,
this
what a
was a game
game.
I did not expect to be this
This
good.
was a good game for sure.
Yeah, Ole Miss wins 41-35. Um, I mean, it was pretty pretty back and forth. Look at Arkansas. I mean, they've put up some points this year, granted against some cupcakes, but then to do this with Ole Miss, just go back and forth and keep pace for pretty much the whole game. Um, Really impressive, and I still think Ole Miss is a pretty good team.
Oh, Ole Miss is definitely a good team, and they won that game, an SEC game A tough SEC opponent. They won that game with a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
So that guy came from some D2 school, I think. Trinidad Chambliss, I believe is his name. And he had 353 passing yards. Not that much rushing yards, but I mean, the dude represented. He did just fine. Arkansas is a good team, and they're going to shock some people. I hope it's not my Auburn Tigers. Uh,
Or my Tennessee
they,
Vols.
they didn't pull they didn't pull this one off against the Rebels. Rebels are a good team, and I don't think they should be 17. I think they should be ranked higher personally. But
Yeah.
they
And
actually have Tulane next week, and Tulane's not a cupcake, so that ought to be a good game.
and this is one of the things about the SEC, and we felt this way last year. Um, it didn't it didn't play out in bowl games like we'd hoped, but you have these really good teams in the SEC that just beat up on each other.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and
that is the story as old as the SEC right there.
and there were two really good programs with a lot of question marks about quarterback that played Saturday afternoon. Georgia and Tennessee going to overtime and Georgia winning 44-41. We were texting back and forth. I I felt um at towards the end of regulation, the way we're moving the ball, okay, we can get in field goal range and we can win this a la Alabama a few years ago. Um, but we miss a field goal. I mean,
You
not a
know that field
not a chip
goal
shot by any means.
that field goal was everything. And if it just been a little bit over, we're having a different conversation right now.
Yeah, absolutely different conversation.
And there's penalties and fees that Tennessee played because that entire stadium came on the field.
Yeah, yeah.
So sadly, he missed that field goal, went to OT, and man, it just it is what it is. I mean,
I,
but Tennessee played their hearts out.
yeah,
Any Tennessee fan that's ashamed of their Vols, that I don't think they're a real true Tennessee fan. Aguilar had a good game. That's how you play Georgia. It just didn't go their way, and that's a shame.
yeah.
Man, that was a good chance to beat Georgia,
It
and they
it
almost had
it
it.
was really good. But I really feel good about Joey Aguilar. I
Yeah,
feel I feel really good about our receivers.
I mean, he did have two interceptions, but I mean,
One
you're
one of
playing
those
Georgia.
one of those was not his fault. He put that
Sure,
ball where his receiver would have been had his receiver not slipped. Um, and and
that's a good point.
and that's tough. And that's something that you don't see on any stat sheet. You only see that on film because where his player was and his receiver had space. So that was probably going to get a little extra yards, but um I am thrilled with how Tennessee played going up 21-7, hitting kind of a dry spell, but then responding. That was impressive to me. That is something that last year I did not see as much. And something especially against Georgia that I've not seen. So I
Yeah,
felt
a few minutes left in that last quarter, it looked like okay, Tennessee can do this.
yeah,
Tennessee's got this, and Georgia is just Georgia, man. They are not an easy team to beat,
yeah.
and unfortunately, things went the way they did. So,
The probably the most shocking game of the weekend was Vanderbilt going to South Carolina and winning 31-7.
all right,
Um,
yeah, I'm not trying to be down on South Carolina, but I don't think that was South Carolina's best game. They obviously
no,
lost their quarterback, and he couldn't come back in the game. But Vanderbilt took advantage of it, and they ate and kicked their tails. And you cannot say Vanderbilt is a cupcake, dude. They went into Virginia Tech, beat Virginia Tech. Now they've gone to South Carolina and beat South Carolina
yeah,
handily, by the way, in
yeah,
both times. So yeah, any school that's overlooking Vanderbilt this season, you're gonna get potentially embarrassed. So,
yeah. I know who's not overlooking Vanderbilt, and that's Alabama. Um, but
man,
but
I don't know if Vanderbilt could beat Alabama on the road, but that would be pretty sweet. They beat South Carolina on the road, but Alabama's a little bit of a different animal, but Florida State beat Alabama, so we don't know.
Yeah.
This would be awesome to see Vanderbilt get 2 years in a row with victories over Alabama.
What what I'm more interested to see, I think, is when Vanderbilt takes on Texas because Texas
Texas doesn't look that strong.
Texas beats UTEP 27-10.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't think Texas should be ranked as high as they are, personally.
I don't either. I'm not sure what's
Yeah, they're going
going
to get
on there.
exposed. Somebody's going to get catch them. I've got tickets to the Florida Texas game, and I know Florida's been sucking an egg, but it wouldn't surprise me if Florida that's a home game for the Gators. If Texas comes to town, the Gators just put it on them because there's just so much on the line there.
Yeah,
And I don't think Texas is that. I think Texas is beatable. Obviously, they lost to Ohio State, but I think it's beatable.
I really do
Easy.
too. Yeah,
Yeah, so I think Vanderbilt could surprise some teams, and you already mentioned a big one.
yeah,
So could they beat Alabama? Can they get a win against Texas?
yeah.
This is a year. I think this is a good year to do it. You got Pavia. This is probably his last season, unless there's some eligibility rule I don't know about. So
He'll find a way to sue for another
he'll find
year.
a way, man. If I'm Coach Lee, I'm like permanently putting Pavia on the staff.
Yeah.
Like, dude, be my offensive coordinator or co-coordinator, be something. Just
Be
have that guy around.
be my hype analyst. Like just
Dude, you got to keep that guy at Vanderbilt because Vanderbilt with Coach Lee and Pavia, even if Pavia's not on the field, I think it's a winning combo. So,
yeah. You mentioned Florida a second ago, and I want to talk about this LSU Florida game. LSU wins 20 to
yeah.
10.
Boy, I couldn't believe the amount of interceptions that Lagway had. I know he's a sophomore, but Lord have mercy. Yeah, I
So
mean, some of them are just terrible. If you watch them back and go watch some of the highlights, it's just like, I mean, high school quarterbacks could have probably done a better job than that. I don't know. I'm not trying to beat up on the guy, but it's hard to have faith in him. But I do. I have to. I don't believe the Gators are just so awful. Man, they're pulling the same thing they did last year. They
yeah, so
started out really bad, and maybe they end the season really well, but it's not looking good right now.
no. So I believe you had 5 interceptions.
He had 5 interceptions.
So it
That's
my,
that is unacceptable.
well, and so then here's what I find interesting.
There's no SEC school that would accept that. Not even
No.
Vanderbilt.
Eh,
Mississippi State wouldn't accept that.
But to throw 5 interceptions and to lose only 20 to 10
Yeah, you lost by
is
two scores.
I I mean either
I mean that tells you the defense played their heart out is what that
they,
says.
they did, and
So
I've
the
watching
the
LSU this year.
defense did come up with a few. They did come up with a few turnovers and stuff. So I mean they it's not
Yeah,
like they didn't try to hold up their end of the bargain.
I
So
I feel like LSU's overranked. Um, I
possibly we know Clemson's probably not as strong losing to Georgia Tech. That was LSU's, big win. They did beat Florida, but now we're pretty sure Florida's not that great, losing to USF the week before. So yeah, it is LSU, the LSU that of old, and they're going to get tested here real soon. So it's all going to come out in the wash, man. You can't
yeah,
hide. That's
no,
that's the thing about the SEC. You cannot hide.
no.
If you're really that good, it's gonna, yeah, people will know.
Yeah. Um, Oklahoma took care of Temple 42-3.
Yeah, that was weird. They actually went to Temple, and I'm not
I
sure
know.
how Temple worked that out, but yeah, that was unusual to me. But
Did
yeah, good for Oklahoma. They handled their business, and now they prep for my Auburn Tigers, who are coming to town. And this is an interesting storyline because the quarterback at Auburn, as you may remember, was the quarterback for Oklahoma last year. So Jackson
it
Arnold is coming back to Norman, but as the quarterback of the Auburn Tigers, and he's taking on what is probably a Heisman leading candidate in Mateer. And
well, if it's any
Oklahoma's a good
encouragement,
team, and they don't lose at home very often.
if
So
it's any encouragement, the last time a former Oklahoma quarterback went back to play his former Oklahoma Sooners, Uh,
There was a W involved. Yeah.
yes. Now
Yes.
granted, it was
That,
high school at
he wasn't
Tennessee.
physically playing on the field, but
Yeah,
yeah, you're right. That is
but
a good stat.
no,
That
but
was last season, and that was a thing of beauty.
I think that could be a really good game. And I'm
I
hoping
think so
for a really
too.
good game.
Auburn is a good team. They're not great, and they've made some mistakes, but they're not a bad team. Auburn is it can hang,
Yeah,
and they beat Baylor. Baylor's not a bad team, and they've had okay, so Ball State was whatever, but South Alabama is actually a decent school, and they play really hard,
yeah,
and it's real easy to overlook South Alabama, but they're not a cupcake. They're actually a good G5 team. So I think Alabama, I think, or excuse me, I think Auburn is as prepared as you could be given the circumstance having to go to Norman and play Oklahoma.
yeah.
So
I feel like Auburn kind of knows who they are, and can they go to Oklahoma?
I do think they do. I think they've really been holding a lot of stuff. Like it's almost like they're not showing all their hand these first three games because that's a quarter of the season if you think about it. A quarter of the season's already gone. That's sad. But we're 3-0, and now we're ready to get tested. We got Oklahoma, and then the next week Texas A&M, and then the week after that Georgia at home. I mean, that's
Yeah,
a tough 3-game stretch.
yeah,
So, we're going to see what Auburn. We're going to Auburn versus Oklahoma. We're going to see the real Auburn. Like,
yeah.
are they
Well,
really that good, or are they kind of the same old
I
Auburn that we
I
knew they
feel like
were?
I know who Auburn is. I think I'm about to find out what they're made of. Um,
Yeah, that's a better way that I would put it, is you're gonna know for sure this coming Saturday based on that result. And I'm not even saying losing to Oklahoma is a terrible thing. I think they can recover from it. But it's, you win at Oklahoma, the conversation starts to change and shift about Auburn.
yeah, agreed. Um, Moving on to another game where maybe Florida's next head coach was coaching. Missouri winning 52-10 over uh, Billy Napier's former school, Louisiana, the Raging
Yeah, I'm really
Cajuns.
proud of Missouri, man. They're probably the most underrated SEC team right now.
Yeah. Um,
They're playing really good, and it may not all look beautiful, like from a paper standpoint, but screw that. They're finding ways to win. So,
yeah.
and they're going to get tested even harder. But already they've done pretty good.
Yeah. Um, and speaking of so far playing pretty good, Mississippi State, I've been really, really, really impressed.
Yeah,
Um,
real for
because
them.
because step one to getting back to um a a a program with pride is beating lesser opponents, and they did that against Alcorn State 63 nothing. They get shut out cookies. Um, so they've got two wins over Cupcakes, plus the win over
Well, the
Arizona
Arizona
State.
State was not a cupcake. That was a good quality win. So,
Right. Yeah, that was a top tier win. So if I'm Mississippi State, I'm feeling good that I can be competitive through the SEC schedule. I do think they get some wins this season. I don't know where, but I think they are competitive this year and get a couple wins. The Egg Bowl should be interesting at the end of the season.
oh
That's
yeah.
one that I'm going to be excited about.
Well, and the quarterback for Mississippi, I didn't even really know who he was. Chapin is his name. He's out of Shreveport, Louisiana. But I mean, the guy's, he's handling business. He's representing Mississippi State, Hail State.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like where Mississippi State's at, and wishing them the absolute best in the next three games. But you and I both know, as the SEC is fun, it's also unbelievably brutal, and Mississippi State is their moment is coming.
Yeah. Yes.
Sadly,
Yes.
I don't say
Um,
that with joy. I really don't. I just know how it works.
yeah.
So, but
Um,
yeah, they've got. Let's see who they got coming up. They've got. I couldn't even tell you. I thought I knew. Thought I had it right here. Oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter.
well, we'll preview kind of next week's
But Mississippi
game.
State's 3-0, and that's rare. That's rare stuff. For the
Yeah.
okay, they've got Northern Illinois. I would imagine that's winnable since they beat Arizona State. But then they got Tennessee.
Yeah.
Uh, Tennessee's coming to Starkville, right? So
Um, I
yeah,
believe that's in Starkville.
yeah, Tennessee's coming to Starkville. And then they got A&M at and in College Station,
Yeah.
and then they play Florida at Florida. So yeah, they've got it. Northern Illinois, I think, is one they can handle. Tennessee, they'll lose. A&M, probably a loss.
Yeah. I mean,
So yeah,
it's a gauntlet, but I wouldn't be surprised if Mississippi State scares a few people and gets a win or two in their SEC schedule.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. It could be Florida,
yeah.
truthfully.
Yeah.
Although that's at Florida, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I do think Mississippi State's in a good position to not be as bad as they were last year. So
Yeah. Um, and then finally this week, Kentucky beats Eastern Michigan 48-23.
go
Uh,
Wildcats. Yeah.
yeah, they took care of business. And
Yeah, coming off that loss, like that was frustrating losing to Ole Miss, but
oh yeah,
they're coming back. They're getting their W, and it's a long season, so stay
yeah.
the course.
Um, let's see, where's
Did you
college?
have any opinion on Alabama, Wisconsin? We didn't really go there too much.
Um,
I uh I thought it was a nice victory for Alabama. Wisconsin doesn't seem to be a very strong team.
yeah,
Luke Fickell might start to be on the hot seat this season. I don't know.
yeah. I I think Wisconsin wants to see a stronger outing. Um, and I think Alabama took care of business. I think, you know, you take care of it early and you just
Yeah,
kind of,
that's how I like to see SEC schools beat a Big Ten school
yeah,
is the way Alabama beat Wisconsin. So no more of that nonsense from last year. That was a fluke, right?
yeah.
So
I'm trying to remember where game day is going this week. Um,
game day.
I remember they announced it and it was a little bit of a head scratcher. Um,
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm not sure. Let's see who's playing. It's probably not Oklahoma because they were just there for Oklahoma and Michigan. Although Auburn and Oklahoma, I think, is a pretty
Florida,
decent.
Miami. That's where they're going. They're
Oh,
they're going to
weird.
Florida, Miami, which
Okay.
I get the rivalry, but the way a 1-2 Florida versus a 3-0
Yeah,
Miami.
that's certainly not the matchup I would have thought they'd go to.
I
But
mean, Auburn,
okay.
Oklahoma is a much more intriguing game. So
Well, I think Miami definitely handled it. Dude, Miami might even be I know they're a playoff team. I think they're they win the ACC against Georgia Tech, and then I think they run the course. They could be in the championship game.
yeah,
That's how good I think Miami is.
yeah,
And it could be like Miami and Oregon if there's not an SEC school in it. Because I think Oregon is kind of like not making a lot of noise right now, but they're about to just like unleash.
yeah.
I think Oregon's really good.
So
Better than
here are
people
the other
think.
yeah, here are the other games for Saturday. Arkansas at Memphis. Why are they going to Memphis? I don't know.
They should
You
never go to Memphis. I mean, they should go to Memphis to have barbecue, but
yeah.
they should that game should every time be
Nobody
in
really
favor.
goes to Memphis on purpose. UAB at
Well,
Tennessee.
that's not true. A little aside, I've been to Memphis on purpose, and I went to Graceland, and it was awesome. If you're in town, go to Graceland because it's amazing.
Go to
So
Graceland, go to Stacks, go
go to Stacks,
there's a
but definitely go to
couple.
Graceland. Go to Graceland and go to
Yeah,
Stacks.
go to Graceland. It's there's a
Graceland's
couple.
better than you think.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put it out there. I was very impressed with Graceland. I
UAB
love.
goes to Knoxville. Uh,
Oh,
Auburn.
that'll be a cakewalk.
Yeah,
And you guys deserve it after, having a brutal.
yeah, we need to tune up before we
Yep.
hit this brutal schedule. Auburn goes to Norman. Tulane goes to Oxford.
That's going to be a good game, Tulane and Ole Miss. You watch.
Yeah, Northern
I'm picking Ole
Illinois.
Miss, but Tulane is a good team.
Yeah, they are 3-0. Northern Illinois goes to Starkville. Uh, the Battle of the Columbias. South Carolina goes to
Dude,
Missouri.
South Carolina just losing to Vandy, and now they got to play Missouri. Dude,
That I
you
think is a
might
more
be
intriguing game than Florida Miami as well.
you might be a sad Gamecock fan after this next week. You might be facing two losses in a row.
True. Uh,
Brutal.
Florida goes to Miami. Georgia State,
Picking Miami in that one.
yeah, Georgia State goes to Vanderbilt after Vanderbilt went there last year. Again, who sketches
They
this year?
lost. Yeah, Vanderbilt's not going to lose this one.
Um, Southeast Louisiana goes to Baton Rouge, and Sam Houston goes to Austin.
It
Um,
seems like every team Texas plays except for Oklahoma or Ohio State is like some horrible tiny nothing team.
they, they're getting them all out of the way. They're just trying to give Arch
Sam Houston.
as
Yeah,
many warm
okay.
ups
So
as
Art, let's
possible.
just say Arch has a really good game. What, two touchdowns? Is that
Yeah, maybe they need to give. And so I saw somebody asking the question: does Arch have a sore shoulder? Does he have something going on? Because there were some throws where it looked like he was wincing when he was letting go. I don't know.
well,
Um,
I don't wish that on him for
I,
sure.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. But I
nobody
do
wants to
know.
say that out loud,
Yeah,
because
out of those games that you mentioned, I'm going to be curious to see, obviously, Auburn, Oklahoma, and I want to see how South Carolina, Missouri turns out, and then of course, fascinated to see if Florida can hang with Miami, although I don't think they will, and then Tulane, Ole Miss. I think that's a good one. So
yeah. So some good games. I cannot wait. Like
yeah,
I don't want
last
to
week
wish
was
the
so
season away.
stacked.
I'm ready for the SEC slate week in, week out.
Yeah, well, it's kicking in. After this week, it'll be pretty much all that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, a
good
lot of
time.
football in a condensed episode this week. Um,
Yep.
but good football nonetheless. Again, I think game of the year for Tennessee, and maybe Georgia was this weekend. Kirby had some really complimentary things to say about Tennessee. As much as I would have loved to win, I was glad to see competitive game through the end of the fourth quarter and into overtime. Um, but just a tough loss up on Rocky Top.
Yeah, you
Um,
you can't blame that loss on just Tennessee being untalented and not having good coaches and not no, that's none of that's true. Just Tennessee played a very good Georgia team and it was a battle. And
yeah,
unfortunately Tennessee didn't win that one. But man, what a game.
yeah.
Great game. Yeah.
Um, as I said earlier this season, everything's going to be okay. It's going to be just
Yes.
fine. Um, hey, we still got a lot of football left. So,
And I'm loving every minute of it. This is
yeah,
fantastic. So.
what a blast. I'm going to sign off saying hug your loved ones, heroes come in all sizes, and roll balls.
Yes, and I'm going to also say hug your loved ones as well, and War Eagle.
Tailgate, pancake, living room, pregame, burgers, ribs, chicken wings, chip and dip, pregame, scotch and a lot of